Hello, good morning, students. I had started the poem A Legend of the Northland, and we did 8 paragraphs. In these 8 paragraphs, we came to know that Saint Peter came to a woman's house and he was feeling very, very hungry after the fasting. And he asked for a cake which the lady was baking, but due to her greediness, she did not give him even a smallest piece of cake to eat. Even that smallest piece for her was big enough to quench the hunger of Saint Peter. So I think I did it till here. She said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself, and yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf only. She did not give Saint Peter to eat it. Now I'm starting from here. Then good Saint Peter grew angry. Obviously, because he was feeling very, very hungry. So, when that woman did not give him anything to eat, though, obviously he is going to feel very hungry. And he was about to faint also. And surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint, means to make him angry at this thing only. It was not a very big thing, but because he was coming there after fasting, so because of this he was feeling very, very hungry also. So not giving a little bit of cake provoked the saint. He became very, very angry at her, and he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in the human form. So dwell means to live in a human form. Human beings are selfish. Animals are never selfish. So you are far too selfish. Some people are only selfish, but some people are very, very selfish to live in a human form. To have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Now this was the punishment that he was trying to give that lady. To have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. What punishment did he give her? Now you shall build. In Hindi we call it shrap. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food. Scanty means scarce, very little. How will you get that food now? By boring and boring and boring. See, these words are repeated. That means too much of boring you have to do. Boring means to make a hole in the hard surface, like a tree on the ground, all day in the hard, dry wood. So, what is that dry wood? The trees, the bark of the trees. And he changed her into a bird. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. So Saint Peter changed that woman into a bird. She became a bird and she flew out of the chimney. She had a scarlet cap on her head, a red cap. Scarlet color is a red color, and that was left the same. That color did not change. A woodpecker has a scarlet red color cap on its head, and that was left the same. Only that was left, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. All her clothes were left there because that woman was changed into a bird. Her clothes were all burned in the flame of the hearth. And every country schoolboy had seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. So till it is just a story, it cannot be true, but it's a poem written by Phoebe Cary, so we have to understand what is the theme of the chapter. Till date, he says, this little bird, a woodpecker, boards on the trees and the ground for looking for food, and he has to do a lot of exercise for that in order to get his scanty food. The food is also very scarce. You always, when you are boring, you can't get the food, it's not sure that you're going to get food there, but still that bird has to, because it's a woodpecker and its beak is very very long also, it is made like that. So it is her duty to, in order to get food, she has to bore on the hard ground. So now students, one thing I wanted to explain to you, because we have finished this poem now. Now to understand the rhyme scheme of the poem, we have to take only the words that I am underlining, means only the last words of the 4 lines, all the last words. Now what will be the rhyming scheme here? Northland, few, winter, through. See, so second line and the fourth line are matching with one another, but first word Northland and winter, they are not matching with one another. So this will be A, this word will be B, then third will be C, and the fourth will be again B, because this word, the second last word of the second line and the fourth line are matching with one another. So the rhyme scheme will be A, B, C, B. Understood, children? After this I am going to send you some poetic devices that the poet has used in this poem. I hope you have understood how to take out the rhyme scheme. And now after this explanation of the poem, I am going to send the poetic devices that the poet has used in this poem for you to understand and to come to know that how does a poet beautifies his poem by using these types of poetic devices. Goodbye till we meet next day.